Hello guys, and welcome back to FTB. As you can see here, I've got 3 spawners, but they're not T5 yet, so I can't have them all lit up, otherwise they'll stop working. And some of them are actually surviving from falling, but hang on. No, this is a snapshot. No, this is vanilla. Okay, I did do a talkie episode, and I was waiting to record this after that one went out to see what kind of reaction I had from it and if I even posted it at all. And in that, I started building this little area. Now, it's a bit different because this is actually an abandoned mineshaft, and I spent quite a long time looking for more than one spawner in this abandoned mineshaft which are close together, and I found these 3, 2 from the mineshaft with poisonous and 1 as a dungeon. Absolutely hilariously close. So if I stand here, all of them are active all the time, which is pretty darn awesome. Now I may need to make the walls a little bit further out so they always die, because these ones here have somehow, I don't know how, they're very rare instances. These have been running for about 20 hours now, and you get one now and then. At the moment, my plan was to put hoppers all at the bottom and have all the dead spiders go all into one chest down underneath here, and I will be doing that as soon as I have enough iron, really. But this is just like bare bones, and I'll show you where it maps up in a minute. So let's go down there and probably just kill this one spider. I'm thinking they either land on the walls or land on top of a torch or something. As you can see, they have full health, which I don't really understand if they... No, they're definitely falling the right height. I'm sure I'll find out sometime. And in here, there's even more string. And I was talking about this in my King Talks video, which went out a few days prior to this one now. And it is rather productive. So, yeah. I think that's definitely enough string now to start a mob trap. Although I do need the iron. And this could easily be an AFK wall factory. No, I've only got all of that from AFKing, and it's only come from those hoppers there, so only a very small amount of them go into there. No, it's only running off of less than 1 spawner, so that's pretty impressive actually, isn't it? So when 3 are running all the time with hoppers, it's going to be insane. No, I'm going to be making wall buildings for days. So I may need to make a seed farm sometime, a flower farm, and get some dyes off of that in mass quantity and actually make use of them. So here, it looks a little bit different. We have got the end portal here, and I've shifted it around a little bit. I haven't changed anything apart from just moving these portals. So you've got one side here, and then on the other side you've got the actual silverfish, which just means that I can do 2 separate rooms, which will be quite nice. I've got to think of an idea of how to make it look good. And then that is where the spiders where it just came from. This one here though is the skeleton one. Now someone did suggest a closer skeleton one to spawn, but this one is just here. Really nicely mapped up by me. A lot of strenuous jigging around with portals, because all 3 of... Oh, nearly hit that. The end portal, the spiders and the skelly are all within about 100 blocks of each other. Total blocks. That's not just up or down, left or right. This is in total triangulation distance. So yes, they have a very small tolerance of where you can put the portals. So they are jerry-rigged around and they just about work. And I'm going to leave them like that for the moment at least. And what do I want to do today? Well, I want to have a go at making a really quick look at expanding the slime farm, so I can get some slime going for the moment. Nothing else has really changed apart from that spider thing, which I've been working on a little bit. And I really need to start looking at what resources I need for a gigantic iron farm, and maybe even set up a small iron farm just for now, just to get some iron to begin with, which would be quite nice. So I'm going to look at expanding this slime farm first. Shouldn't take me too long. Had a couple of suggestions of how I could change it, which would be really nice. Now, this was just a proof of concept, showing that the smallest possible slimes could spawn in the smallest possible area, which is quite nice to see. And yes, they do work on a lunar moon now, but as it's a passive, that's why it's in the lunar, so you only get it now and then. But we had a few slime balls come through, which, no, it was proof of concept. I haven't really been around here since I've been at the spider place. So I'm going to get on and expand this. I'll probably put it over there or something. I'll be back to you with a little show. It seems that this slime thing is going to be a little bit more complicated than I thought. I decided to build it over here. So I went and mapped up a nice little square, 11 by 11, 10 blocks away from the corner of the spawn. So if I ever want to do some kind of wall or something, I can put it there. And made a nice little building and thought, no, this is going to look really good, this is going to work very well. And you can probably hear the problem already. Now, I'm thinking this isn't going to work how it is, because as you can see there's slimes, but they can't fall down. There's also spiders spawning in here. So what I was doing as a principle, I've got all the layers, so that's around the top where actual slimes can spawn in this biome, and it goes down to about the bottom of it as well. And the idea would have been, looking at what we did before, I would have these little paths so that the slimes, the 1x1s, would fall down the gaps, and my thinking was also that spiders wouldn't be able to spawn, but it seems that spiders can spawn like this, which is quite annoying. So they need to have some kind of wall in here, which is a bit annoying. So I have two options, I think. I can either have a wall all the way here, and then just leave each end unobstructed, and maybe the middle as well unobstructed. That could be a option, because at the moment these ones are getting stuck in the middle, which is really sad and very annoying. And I can't deal with spiders in here because I don't want that. Now what I wanted to do as well, with having this design, I wanted to have it so that I could just pour lava down the middle, and that will go down to the bottom, and then just stop everything spawning just because of light. But using a wall design, I've got to think of a different way of stopping things from spawning. So it's back to the drawing board, I think, and probably rip out these platforms and have a good think. But that's my thought process so far, and that's why this bit doesn't work like I wanted it to. So yeah, that's what's going to be changed. And also someone asked if I could give the coordinates for things like the corners and spawns and stuff, and I will do that at the end of the video. I'll take a few minutes to show you the exact coordinates and things. But for now, I'm going to redesign this slime farm, and I'll be right back. I noticed that slime that spawned before was actually a 2x2 slime, which means that these half block high extras were allowing a 2x2 slime to spawn instead of a 1x1, which wasn't exactly what I wanted. That's why it didn't fit down the sides, and that also meant that the spiders could spawn as well. So I've gone and tried a couple of different things in here yet. I haven't been able to test them fully because you've got to wait for the lunar cycles and everything else, and all of these tests you would have much better rates once the swamp has been dug out over there. As you can see, it's actually a swamp. There's a slime just there. They're much more likely to spawn out there than they are in here, but once I cleaned it all out, then you'll get much better rates as long as this works in principle. So what I've done is block off all the sides, so only a 1x1 size could spawn. It's 1x1 by 1.5, so hopefully just the normal little slimes will spawn. And I wanted the half height extra headroom so that slimes could jump easier, so get to one side or the other even quicker. So what I've done is just made a hole on this side, a slot in the middle and a slot at the end, so there's a shaft which they can fall down. There's less spaces in this place, but easier to fall down. So then they fall down to the bottom, and they don't die from fall damage. They go through this water stream. Now I had to think of a way to make it so that I'll be really efficient on iron usage, because I don't have the iron at the moment. So otherwise I would have just done hoppers everywhere, but for this I've got water streams coming down. I might need to make it more than one high, but we'll have a look soon. Pulls it down the middle and then falls down there. That should be enough height to kill the little tiny slimes. And then it's got one hopper and a chest down the bottom. Now it hasn't been tested very much yet, so I don't know if this actually works in principle. But this side, well, I got halfway through placing this glass, thinking I'll just block off those side bits and the spiders and just see if it works still. Then I thought, halfway through doing that, I thought, I could do something like this. So where I am looking at a way to turn this off as well, I was thinking also of how to get maybe lava down here to light it up. So I thought, no, this side I could try. So it's just alternating platforms now. In theory, hopefully nothing else apart from a 1x1 slime would spawn, and then they come out like this side. No, each end they could fall out. And what I will do though is, if this does work, I would pick one of these sides, whichever works best, and then move this glass wall up a bit, put signs all the way along, and then have it so that there'll be dispensers at the top, and all I do is pour lava down and have it so that they don't interfere with any of this water, so that they would light up enough so that none of the spawning spaces would be available to be spawned on because of the light level, and that would be my on and off switch. No need for loads and loads of redstone or anything else, no lamps. So yes, we're going to leave that now though, because that's going to take quite a while to see if it works. All I've done is set a tiny little room down here. Same sort of thing as the other one, just an easy access. And hopefully, maybe by the end of the episode, we may get a few slime through. I'm only seeing if it works in principle. Nothing yet because it hasn't been night time. But we want to see if it works in principle, and then we'll look at if we need to expand it, or if we just need to light up the rest of the swamp and get some rates in here. But to see if it works in principle. So now I need to go collect up some iron golems, collect up some villagers, and I need to start an iron golem farm here. Now I do need a lot of redstone and stuff and iron to do the finished iron farm itself, but for a cheap one I can do the older style, which I did before in my other Let's Play, and just get some iron AFK through here for the moment. Just be nice to collect some up so that I can finish other things. So yes, I'm going to work out how I'm going to take those villagers from that village and move them over here somewhere, and then I'm look at making a infinite breeder for villagers, and then we'll set up a iron farm. So I'll be back to you guys in a bit. But before I forget, let's just enchant a pickaxe, and I need silk touch. Ooh, yes, very pleasing. Okay, I'll get on with it. Okay, so I've got 2 villagers through already, and there goes number 3. Now they don't go through the portal like that. I'm going to break the cart, and it goes through, and I'm putting back in the cart on the other side. Now I only need 3. Ooh, don't be in the portal. Don't be in the portal. Come out the portal. Oh, that's okay. You can do that. Just keep you nice and safe by putting you into a cart. There you are. So I need 3 for an infinite breeder, if they still work. I haven't used them for a very long time. So these dudes are going to become that, and I need to go set it up now in spawn and stop bumping me. Okay, you're safe. Very good. Very, very good. That means I need to make a little pen, so I'll go do that, and I'll be back when I've set up a little infinite breeder and see if it works. Infinite breeder set up, nice and quick. Just throw down a bunch of doors, put a couple of blocks over the top, throw 2 villagers in the bottom, 1 in the top, and you're done. And I've got 1 little baby already, so it definitely works. Very pleased. All we need to do now though is just wait to collect up enough villagers, so over 22 or something, to then fill up my first little iron golem farm. It'll be just the old standard design, and I just need that to get a little bit of iron. So I'll be right back when that's ready. That just looks slightly wrong. They changed the AI, it seems. That's a half slab, so that's the closest place to get to the villagers here. So they're all going on that one half slab and jumping, but they can't reach. It's hilarious. Now we've got loads of villagers now. That should be enough to get my iron golems going. And I kind of got a bit bored while waiting for them to breed, because they do take quite a while when you only have 2 to begin with. So I did go and dig out some land. I kind of used up most of my pickaxes, So I just need to go and lay the foundations and just build it up now with the actual iron farm. But in here, as you can see, my pickaxes are rather dead. So yes, I really need to get all the stuff for the Enderman Farm as soon as I can, so I get experience. Because I have 30 or so diamonds, so I can use them, but it's just getting more diamonds and getting the efficiencies, which I really want. So I'm going to lay this down now. I'm not going to show you this bit. I'll link you to a tutorial if you want to see that, and just a basic normal one from JL. And I'll be back when it's done. And there we are, a one size iron farm done. Now this is only an ugly thing to be ripped down as soon as I start building the other iron farm, which I will be doing pretty soon. I've got some iron already. It's been running quite a while though. They're not very efficient on just one of them. In my old world I was using 6, and that was quite good. But yeah, I'm debating now what material I should build my Enderman farm out of. In my last series I made it all out of iron blocks. I'm not really at that point of the world yet though to do that. So I got to think of a nice block that's abundant and I can use. I don't use snow or anything. I don't really like using that. Oh, 9 guns came down. Awesome. Yeah, all I've got is a little tiny lava blade here, and it kills them pretty quick, and they die, and you get the stuff. Very good. So I've now got a nice AFK supply of iron, because the first property of spawning we're using is that all these chunks are always loaded, and one of the things that always work in spawn chunks are iron farms, which is awesome. So I don't need to worry about if I'm working here or working in the mines or something. I will always be getting free iron now, and that should build up quite a lot, and then I can build my proper iron farm. So what's this? Well, before a few people seem to be weirdly offended by the shape that this thing was in at the bottom, although they must have missed a few history lessons because it was not the shape that they thought it was, which was quite amusing and bemusing for that matter. So I've gone on and mapped out the whole radius of the anti-spawning zone, so I don't want to be within that nice big weird shaped thing. It's not a sphere, it's a lumpy sphere at that. And I'm now thinking where logistically I should put my main base and the main storage area, because in 1.5 it's quite important how you're going to put your items around, because I want to use a proper big sorting system and I want all the farms funneling into it. So the first thought would be in the middle, and that would work, but also I've got to be 24 blocks away from that all places as well. So I could do another one of these big things on the top underneath to find out the full radius of the point I don't want to be in. So that would leave me some space. Now this is the middle, the very very middle. So I was either thinking to do a sky thing, which would of course reduce my efficiency of the farms around in those chunks, but to be honest, as we're in spawn and we're going to be here all the time, I'm not too concerned about maximum efficiency. Just of having it in the spawn chunks makes it incredibly efficient anyway, because I'm here all the time. That's what I hated about everyone else's Let's Plays that I saw. They kind of spent weeks and weeks and weeks making a witch farm, spending tons of hours cleaning out all the caves and everything, and then only be able to AFK at it when they're there. Whereas this series, I want it so that I'm doing stuff here and everything else, and it will be running constantly. So I'm not worried about being 100% efficient, just good enough, and it will keep plodding along. So I was thinking about having maybe a sky thing here. That would be more annoying to get items into it, but could look quite nice. Or I could do something underground. Now I was thinking of doing it underground somewhere, and then having maybe a sky bit for an actual living area, and the storage will be downstairs. I could put a portal lift in to come from that bit down there up to here, like a flying saucer kind of thing. I'm tempted. I would have to have it connected though. It is tempting. Well, I could map it up so that I could just about get up there actually. Would be tempting. So I really need some ideas on that, because when I go downwards, obviously this area here down until level 51 will spawn slimes if it's not spawn protected. So at the moment we're on 63, so I'd have to at least go down 12 blocks, and then we're getting really near slime chunks, and I'm not sure where all the slime chunks are in this world for the spawn. I have to check it on the tool and see if it's actually viable to have something down there, because I don't want to be messing around with slimes and redstone, especially my spawning rates. I just don't want to deal with them. That's why I've got that thing over ground, and then I probably will, when I have beacons, just dig out all the slime chunks here completely and not even go into them. Be the most efficient way of doing it. So I need some thoughts on a sky base kind of storage area and serviceable area, because this thing's going to be gone as soon as possible. So same as that actually. But yeah, I've got iron, and this is all mapped out. So really, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing next, because I need to get the materials for my Enderman farm. So I've got some iron. I need to make a wood farm though. That would be a good idea. So let's look at building a quick wood farm, I think. So I'll be right back when I found somewhere to put it. Okay, so I went ahead and made a whole tree farm. You can see it just over there, but we're in new snapshot 16B, and one of the changes I noticed is, oh, that feels so good. Yes, awesome. So tree farm's over there. Let's check on these. I turned off particles as well, so you can't see it. And I kind of maybe went a little bit more complicated than I needed to. It's just a simple tree farm. It's not even a permanent thing. Well, it wasn't designed to be. Out in the smelly waters of the swamp, so you've got funny coloured trees, and just a basic, just to get as much wood as you can easily. And I actually just went and harvested this row, that's why it's still looking a bit weird. So let's go and grab a pickaxe, not a pickaxe, and I'll grab these things as well, because these were just harvested. And so was a spider. Let's go down on these rows. So this is just a basic, get as much wood as you can in a smaller space. This is a nice pattern to use to get enough saplings back to repopulate them and not actually lose much space. I've done all the science stuff behind it before. Not as fancy as my old farm, but I'm sure we might make something like that, or very similar, or even automatic one in the future. This is just to get wood for pistons mainly. So all we do is go up and down the rows, harvest the wood, and then replant the trees, and then just leave it. As I'm always in the spawn chunks, now these leaves won't actually despawn themselves if I leave the spawn chunks, because that's not a spawn interaction, it's a player interaction, which some people don't realise. Let's get a few more of those trees. There we go. And all we do is replant them and then go. As I'm always in spawn chunks, then these will be loaded still by a player, and then they will regrow. Very, very simple. And all I've got down here is just waterways, just flushing the stuff down. A little bit longer this way, shorter this way, and then I've just got two water streams going to the middle, with a few extra hoppers going to a hopper chain. Hopper chain just goes down here, and under here is a vertical item elevator. You can't really see very much of it, maybe down there. And it comes back into here. So it's a very convenient thing to do, because I don't want to wait around for trees, and of course it's on the site so that, because of the amount of leaves that you keep on each side, you'll always have the same or more saplings back than when you planted them. So you don't have to worry about the ones out here or something. The statistical chances you'll always have saplings left. So down here is a little bit of redstone, just two little tiny item elevator timers, two different ones, just slightly different arrangements to get them around here. Yeah, that's pretty simple. And that's the tree farm. And what I love though about having a water thing around here is that I love the difference between the water and the half slabs. I think that's really cool to have. And all of this tree farm itself is spawn proof. All the sides, all the waterways, all of the tree bits. And I've also got this roof above it, and this stops trees from growing to the large ones. This stops them at a maximum height of 7. So you never get the big scrangly trees, so you don't need to worry about cutting them down weirdly and having problems like that. Speed is of the essence. I just come down here, cut them down, and walk away. And of course you'll start getting the saplings into here when they start despawning. Very good. So that's that. Pretty simple, pretty bog standard. And I've got a couple more things to check. So we need to go look at the slime farm. Now the slime farm, obviously, no matter how well it works now, it'll work better once we've cleared up some of the spawn spaces in the world and really got some of the caves lit up and everything else, because they're a hostile mob. and they've got a very small chance of spawning themselves because they have a 10% chance of spawning in that space, but then as they're a small slime, some slimes down there in the water, they're dying, they've only got a small chance of spawning out of them because it's a 10% chance that they'll spawn, but then less than 10% chance that they're going to less than 10% chance they're going to spawn a mini slime because it picks a slime and then it checks what size it's going to be. So I've got some slime in here already. That's okay for a test and a proof of concept. No, we may change the design at some point, but for now we're going to see if that rate increases by a lot or not, depending on how much stuff I've lit up. We're just having a look at that as an experiment. Now even 25 is more than I need for the moment for pistons, but I've got some more in here and everything else. So it's looking okay, and the iron farm's working well. So I did promise to show the coordinates off for some key things around the map, for people wanting to play the world as well. I'm a bit split about world downloads because they do take a long time to do. I've got to organise them, I've got to actually stop playing and pick a good point to upload them on. I don't like leaving things a mess when I do uploads, so I'm not sure if and when I want to do them. Maybe some sort of like objective, I'm not sure. It sounds a bit mean to do that, but they do take a lot of time to organise and then upkeep. So I'm going to say this is the end now of this episode. We got quite a few things done. I was thinking actually before I record this clip, how much have I got done this episode? I like progress. Have I got progress? So we've got a slime farm, we've got a wood farm, we've got an iron farm, and we've got a triple spider spawner. That's some progress, I'll give you that. And yeah, so thank you very much for joining me, guys, and for the people that want to see the end coordinates of whatever I'm going to show you, stick around. Otherwise, thank you for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next time. So, coordinates, at the moment we are 200, 215, and on the top of this pillar, if I just go into here, actually, well, next to this pillar, the middle is 222, 224, actually it would be 222, 222 would be the exact centre. That's weird, isn't it? And then you just count 6 chunks each side, and we'll show you the actual coordinates of each corner. And then we'll go have a look at the triple spider spawner, because that's quite a nice one, and the end portal, and they should be the key locations of the world. So this corner is, and that should be the middle. So 320x and 143z. You have to look at the exact coordinates if you want to pause it and make it big to check that you're exactly on the right spot. Otherwise, if you're blocked out, then it can be a bit different. And this line is the outer side of spawn, so only the inside of that is the spawn chunks, not the actual line itself. So when you count it, you've got to say everything inside that point is spawn chunks. So be careful on that. And I do actually need to get loads more cobble, which is quite weird because I'm running out. Sadly, even after all that, I'm actually running out of cobble. So this corner over here, I'll just get there quickly. Let's get into night time. 128, 143. Let's go to this one. Chuck another potion. So I've been really enjoying this world so far. It's been good fun, and also my King's Talks hasn't got many views, but a lot of people seem to like that, which is really nice to see. And if you do show your support, it is really welcome on that. Especially as it doesn't get as many views as some other stuff. The thumbs up really make me think that you like watching it, which really makes it worthwhile. So up to this one here. Where are we? We are at 128 again. Oop, 128 and 320. And this one over here will be 320, whatever the other side was. But yeah, that's pretty good. And do give me opinions on blocks to build with. So let's get over there. And actually that tree farm looks quite pretty from up here. Very good. Oh, bit of fire. Don't mind that. And this coordinate is 320, 320. Oh, that is quite weird, isn't it? So 222 in the middle, 222, and 320, 320. Wonder if that's a coincidence. Very weird. So, use up some valuable ender pearls, as I haven't actually harvested any since the beginning. No! Whoa! Well, that was nearly a blooper. So, through here. Okay, the end portal is minus 1136 and minus 68 on Z, and Y equals 35-ish if you want to go downwards. And the triple spider spawner is minus 1048 and Z equals 19, minus 19. And you're about Y equals 24, 25, and you'll probably see it. So, that does conclude the showing of little things, and you can just go out there. See, it's actually less than a 23 drop, so they don't die. I can fill them with hoppers now, as I have the iron, which is pretty awesome. Not that I need much more string for the moment. So, thank you very much for joining me, guys, if you stayed here for extra, and I'll see you next time.